Hello everyone, I'm Becky Goldsmith with Piece of Cake, and this is the small perfect scissor put out by Karen Kay Buckley. This is my go-to scissor when I'm sitting down and appliquing in the evening. It's the one that's always by my side. This scissor comes with its own scissor sheath, which is nice. It does not come with a scissor charm, and I would recommend that you use a scissor charm with this scissor because this is a scissor that has a serrated blade. A serrated scissor is one where one blade is smooth and one has little teeth. The little teeth help to control the cut. They hold the fabric in place while you're making your cut. It's important when you use a serrated scissor that the smooth blade is on the bottom. And that's because as you cut, you'll find yourself gliding the scissor into the cut along the bottom blade. If you have the serrated blade on the underside of the cut, the scissor does not glide as smoothly, and it's an annoyance. So I am careful to put my scissor charm on the scissor so that when I have the scissor in my hand, the smooth blade is on the bottom. What that really means is because you want the scissor charm to hang against the bottom of your hand, this is the blade that's serrated. So that's the blade that gets the scissor charm. When you hold it, the other blade, the smooth blade, will always be on the bottom of your cut. Okay, the scissor, this scissor, is not one that I use most of the time for cutting out lots and lots of applique shapes. I like a slightly bigger scissor with a longer blade than that. But this scissor is the one I use for when I'm sitting and sewing, if I need to make small cuts, if I need to clip my thread, if I need to do cutaway applique, because this is the only scissor I would use if I was doing cutaway. Cutaway applique is a technique where you might be sewing something that's very narrow or very small, and if you cut it out with its finished seam allowance, it's just too small to work with. So you cut it out, leaving extra fabric around it, and you cut away the excess fabric as you go. I've got more videos on this technique on the video lessons page. You'll also find it in many of our books, especially in the Best Ever Applique Sampler. But this scissor is particularly good for cutaway applique because it's a smaller scissor. You'll have more control over what you're doing. Because it is a serrated scissor, that's particularly important, and because it cuts cleanly to the point, but the point of the scissor itself is not so sharp that when you slide it between the two fabrics to make your clip or your cut, the bottom blade will not catch and rip the underneath fabric. So here I can move this scissor into place and safely trim away the excess applique fabric, and then I would put my needle in and begin sewing. The other place I use this scissor is if I'm clipping inner points. Now, I would not clip an inner point until I was actually appliquing the shape, but here, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to show you how to clip an inner point. The important thing to remember when you clip an inner point is that the cut actually happens where the blades meet. So when you put the scissor in, and let me see if I can bring this just a little bit closer. When you put the scissor in to make your clip, make sure that you don't look at the entire blade and center it. Make sure you look at the left side of the top blade. That's the part of the blade that you center. And here I'm going to clip to and through the line. It's a perfect clip. If you'd like to see more about how I clip and sew inner points, you'll find that at pieceofcake.com on the video lessons page and in the best ever applique sampler. So that is the small perfect scissor. I hope you have enjoyed this demonstration. Thank you for watching. May you have many happy stitches.